This is a collective disaster. It's just been injustice from day one. Not only have they plagiarized this beautiful life that I had before, like the values that I really held dear to my heart. I was a very innocent girl when they took me. When they first took me and destroyed parts of me. And what they did was very cunning. They went straight to my hometown and started giving a lot of deceptive lies and lots of propaganda to them so that I didn't get a chance to kind of sort out my identity to these people. Do you think an identity is just one identity for the rest of your life, or do you think you progress in your life? That's what I want to ask you as people. What I'm really upset about is that I'm homeless and I'm an innocent victim, and there's all these systems that have never worked to support me. Plus, China has been doing all this crime of gore, having these restaurants pulling out my intestines. Plus, every time you wound me when it comes to my work and abilities, it makes it harder and harder to get up again. And you have to remember there's probably 20 of them, plus they're putting a lot of money and injecting into their face looks. Well, I'm on the bones of my ass trying to get back my identity, and they're going to war all over the world about my divinity. And this is just the identity of what the scale of what they're doing is just crazy. Like, I shouldn't have a life that was punishing. They make out all these jokes. It's very hard. Everything. Democracy gets sabotaged. Freedom of speech is totally erased, and I'm just striking. Because the kind of entertainment you're doing isn't like entertainment, it's just destroying my reputation and destroying my public face in society. And I think the way that ICE is stopping me having refugee help is ridiculous, and I think it's really unfair that in 2 years since I was such an honourable person going for human rights, crying and saying the government is such scum for not giving me my rights for domestic violence help. That's what I said when I was in Sweden. I said they're absolute scum, and they started building these walls that I was an absolute whore and a leech. All of them. And everywhere I went, these girls just kept putting these conferences that I'm shitting and threw me down this hole that I'm a dirty animal. So nowhere I went I was ever accepted, because they started building this network in Christchurch and putting me in this underground trafficking and putting me next to exes and trying to claim that I've just aged. No, I haven't. It's direct malicious attack. It was directly used. My life, I was a very young looking girl, and I was very focused on my nutrition. There's no way I'd be old looking. I'm saying that because I'm saying it's foul play and a homicide, and it's the guys getting away with it not once but many times. And they keep having many people with prejudice that want to attack me all the time. I never owed karma. I didn't owe karma at all. I blessed people. I tried my best to bless people where I could. And yes, I am selfish about my own life, about getting ahead for myself. And all I've had is this war against my money, war against me having a family. They've cursed me having a family, and they've cursed my purity and nobility, and they've cursed my honour in society. And I want to say this has been a direct, violent tragedy. Because to be honest, you've made me look 20 years older in almost 7 years. And 7 years ago, I looked like a young girl that was bubbly, happy. Everything made me the happiest, just spending time with people, the innocent things out of life. Very simple things made me happy, and I didn't look to have more. I mean, I didn't use people to have more. Then I got basically used in Christchurch and killed on these, on some sort of, Hollywood, Warner Brothers thing. I just got killed out of the country. They made me look crazy. they sent toilet videos, and then they just had a mass blacklisting of me and made all these friends say they never liked me, and they started forming bonds and outcasting me, and they've been running this Kiki, Trump and Amanda bus, and I want to strike because it's been going on for years. Every time I've got evidence, they do a lot of work to try and erase most of the evidence so they're unaccountable for anything. But everybody knows about the bus, and I want witnesses. The bus that I'm ugly, because for years at all of my work, Kiki has been harassing me with photos of me versus her. And I've had enough about it, the way she has marketed herself. So she had a lower job, and that's how she got ahead, by using her looks as a weapon to beat me down and say I was a whore behind my back. And that's how their unintegrity, violent group has been trying to push and oppress me to get above me in all of my work endeavours. I'm an independent person. I'm a leader in my own work because I just stayed in my own lane. I just did my own thing, and I'm just being held captive by USA. And I just saying, you say I'm cold, but I never was. I did my life of kindness. I was really put in a prison where everybody framed me, and then they put me online, and then they started framing me as being a real whore, like a Becky girl that likes to have sex. That was his side hoe, and that's backwards. I never was a side hoe. You can say that today, but if you look at the girl I look like, I was really attractive. You look at my cousins. Do you think that I was born ugly? I don't think so. We had good genetics, and that's what I want to know, what they said in a court case about genetics. I'm hated in public, and it's an unfair situation. The crime in Australia is never addressed. I don't even know why I got overseas, and they basically took my business off me and rubbished me with the mafia that I'm low quality and made me a huge joke. John went around trafficking me as cheap quality meats, just persecuting me, capital punishing me. And then I just got deported and told I'm a bad character. And I want to know why, because I actually got taken out of my home, and all I remember is I realised I was being poisoned in my own home again. I realised there was mould growing in bowls of water after like a week, which means the government was torturing me in my house. And then they were like torturing me by putting chemicals. And there's all these, then chicken, basically about 3 years ago, the kids sent me a book, and it was about a politician that raped a girl and then set her up to be a schizophrenic and hung her out in the public eye to kill her and make her erased. I don't know if Ruben did that to me, I think Ruben might have done that to me, and I'm an adult. And I just want to say it's not a very fair situation. My vagina actually got really, I think they might have put some sort of flesh-eating chemical in it. It burns. This is an act of violence. I was in my tent. I'm a very spiritually inclined person, and half of what I'm saying is through spirit. So you can say I don't have any evidence, but I'm asking for witnesses because I got stung by all these bees up my dress. And I realised that somebody had raped me in the tent. And then I saw all these vaginas on the tree. And then I realised somebody was doing something to my vagina on my family tree. And also in Australia, when I went there, there was a mess at all the trees over there. Have you seen those trees? They've got clumps. If you go to Frankston, all the trees have these poo-looking things hanging on the trees. And something inside me just knew. I was like, they've been putting that video everywhere, basically. And I'm like, not again. Everywhere I move, they're sabotaging me. They're stopping me having a future. And I'm saying I'm not a savage. I was a very feminine, quite a refined brain and quite an amazing brain, but I was about middle class. And I don't know, like, I just believe if nobody had tampered with my life, I would have been a lot like Rachel Devine, who is quite an attractive woman, but she's a balance, like she looks pretty, but she's quite masculine in her capability of her mind. She's a very strong woman. Like, she's not a man though, but she's just, you know, she's not a model or a like influencer. She's a definitely just a straight-laced person. So this is, at the end of the day, assaulting me in a blackmail ring and not feeding me any support. I strike for hunger strike, for one. And two, you know, these people meant something to me, and you've actually erased so much of my life. Like, just by going on and on, I'm ugly, and I'm just saying, it's not ethical. Grow up. Like, the hypocrisy is, you want me to grow up, you grow up. Why don't you ever grow up? It's 7 years. You can't. You're sitting in your background beating off to all these women in this car racing show to be some influence because you want to be some big cocks of this city with misogynistic fucking power. And then you come into my room and rape me and degrade me and try and put me down of my chastity and the kind of woman I want to be. You've taken that away from me. I don't push my ideals onto other people. I don't understand why a group of dirty fucking like guys from overseas or these foreign lands want to come in with their like dirty criminal gangs of like this massive car racing thing to have sex and win sex at the end of it. It's like such a great fantasy, isn't it? But it's such a psychopathic kind of toxic culture, because at the end of the day, it's just a fantasy. It's like, I'm hot. Do you find me hot? We're hot. Oh, we're hot. Rub me down, baby. Let's get married. Let's show off to the public that we're hot together. It's not really a basis for really connecting to somebody, is it? I mean, she's not really saying that this guy's a real effing dropkick that's like selling drugs and like beating people up and he's having sex with all these women. She doesn't say that. She's just like, he's hot and all these girls want him. It's not really a basis for a proper relationship. And that's the upsetting thing for me, is if you want to talk about humanity, that is what's unfortunate about these stupid people making them influences in our society. Look at them. It's not right, like, and there's nothing democratic about this. They just basically have taken my identity, framed me with all this AI, made me look like a steal, made me look like I'm a Karen, destroyed me, putting shit on me in my sleep when I'm knocked out or something, and I'm horrified. Like, I believe there was one time that I might have done something in my room, in a shed. It wasn't a shed though, it was a cabin, and it was never dirty because there was only room for a couch. And I was a very pure-hearted woman, and our family is about white light, peace and harmony. We've always been like that. We were peace lovers, and that's why I think it's very shocking for people that are very peace lovers. They're just all agreeable with these people because they don't know how to deal with it. I just want to give a real big thank you to Alice if she protested for me to go to work. I really appreciate your support. I didn't ever, you know, I just want her to know I really appreciated her and Thomas in my past for supporting me in my counselling journey too. And I didn't use them. I just am an introvert, and sometimes their extrovert ways, I need time out. Like, it's too much, like, you know, I've got that with a few of my friends that it's not fair because actually France came into this country and Japan, and they just basically were establishing power and used me by torturing my face and erasing lots of my character through the most dastardly, vile ways. And I shouldn't be tortured anymore, you know. It's almost 7 years. What are they trying to achieve out of it? To make me a no one? At the end of the day, it's just such a tragedy that I worked very hard to have a great education, that I worked very hard to say something. You make me have a life in prison with people writing these walls with this dark projection and this hatred, and I don't even know these people. They've just made they follow me town to town and go around on their motorcycles and start getting people to say I'm lowest quality. And it's really abusive. It's not letting people have freedom of speech. Then they've been making my life a nightmare with this massive cruise ship of a toilet video all over the world, and cutting my vagina up so I'm completely humiliated into silence. And I'm not going to be silent anymore. I'm very angry. Because what you're actually saying is women that have actually worked for their future don't matter. What you're actually saying is all that matters is all this money that you can put into life to just keep making people look beautiful, and it doesn't matter if they work for it. You want to keep giving it to the girls that you like the most. It's like I don't even have the right to my own telephones anymore. They just give everything to Kiki and Poppy. All of the words that they're using with Poppy in the Instagrams and things like this is what I've been saying, to do with curiosity, to do with being fierce, to do with eloquent writing. This is stuff that I was writing. This is stuff that I have been writing about and talking about in public. And to keep me chemically abused so that you can keep filming me, I strike. Stop chemically abusing me so you can make money to buy houses, Poppy. And dairy owners, they claim that they're the love of this country, but they're just chemically abusing me and exploiting me and this filming me day in, day out, and apps on this watch. This isn't a democracy. I'm in exile. For about 7 years I haven't had rights. Eventually you're going to be angry, especially if John and Steve use my whole mother's family. It actually says in this phone, because people were trying to help me fight him. They got me overseas and they said he's trying to build his whole legacy on your spiritual journey. And it's like, I didn't come from the mongrel mob. I don't have mongrel mob ties. So don't tell me you're drug laundering and then you're dressing up in some Armani suit, suddenly you're high class. Don't tell me who I am. Like, don't look down upon me when you guys have degraded me and taken away my wealth and destroyed my life. Like, I haven't been a savage in my life. I was definitely a woman and I actually used to be a very timid, very innocent woman. They've taken away the colour out of my skin. They've given my eyes like darkness. They don't want me to have a future at all, and I want the walls to come down. Why should the police be the arms? There's firearms blocking my mother having any support to me. And she may be so humiliated, but at the end of the day, she's still my mother. Why does Kiki need to nurse off her titties? Why does John need to nurse off her titties? Why are they meeting my mother? The bear, why is Kayla going to my mother? It's not right. Like, what are you adopting me for? To assimilate and erase my whole culture? Why keep me in a country where I don't get to talk to anyone? And why establish a new group of organizations that will never have me having any social interaction? What they've done is made all these organizations with this underground trafficking network so I can't be free to meet people. They follow me around and they're all controlling so that I don't get any emotional support, so that I can't grow in my future the way I want to grow. And that's the thing. People were under hostage. I heard they had arrested Alice for trying to speak out against what they were doing to me. You know, that's why you say speak up for yourself and that she's nicer than me. How can I speak up? She's had me raped and bullied all over the media. How does that mean they're divine feminine and divine masculine? And I don't know why Terry is invading my homes and I'm really, really ugly every day and I want something done about the Somalian. They've got a trafficking ring underground with bringing in, smuggling drugs, smuggling me. They've got photos of me day in, day out, and I want my photos down. This alligator Alcatraz and the mongrel mob, I want my photos down. It's my life. If I don't have, you know why I actually had sex with that guy? I thought I was dying. I thought I didn't have much time to live, and I'm an adventurous person, and I was like, I'm going to go live my life. I want to have the best time of my life. What they did was poisoned me and made him have the best time of his life. And that's the sadistic thing about it. It's like he hates me, but he sits and talks with my mum. That's why I hate the guy. Who are these guys? I'm angry at all of them. I'd just rather die. I've been petitioning to die because of Russia for a long time, because they've been very violent to me. They've been violent in my home with a lot of gas bombing in Australia. I've had it again and again. This church, I think it's a mafia church. I remember lying on the couch. I know I sound like a lunatic, but Jesus actually did come in a big cross, and I was like, what's going on? And then I was just so, oh, that's crazy. And then I realized because I'd woken up out of nowhere, I thought I was kind of lucidly dreaming. And then I just started smelling all this gas. And so I had to leave the home. And that's what's happening to me. Everywhere I go, they're poisoning me or they're using energy weapons. That's why I've worn tinfoil in the